Welcome to the Embrace the Face podcast, where we celebrate all things weird and wonderful. I'm Allie Anderson, your host, here to bring you high vibe content and interviews for your highest good in self-healing and ascension. May these episodes bring you all you need in each now, and I thank you for listening, as always. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another episode of Embrace the Face, where today we are celebrating lunar ceremonies for the full moon, the super full moon in Gemini. What does that mean? We are going to talk about it. So hello, welcome. I'm so happy to have you all listening and being here with me. This has been, November flew by, no? So we're in December. It's currently December 2nd, so it's Tuesday. The full moon is not until December 4th, so on Thursday. So you have some time, but I wanted to really tap into this full moon energy to give you a little bit of an idea of what you can do as we close up the year of 2025 and we head into 2026, the year of the fire horse. So with that being said, if you have not checked out my new astrological planner and daily journal, this is the 2026 edition. This is the third edition. I'm so proud of myself, honestly, that I followed through with this. So that's really what it's all about, right? When we get these visions and we have these downloads and these ideas, and it's like, how can I make this happen? And it takes work. I talk a lot about quantum leaping and quantum healing. And yes, we can energetically bring ourselves energetically into our highest timeline. We do, however, in this physical 3D reality, we do have to do the work. So I am very proud of myself that this third annual edition is out for your highest good. And it starts now. So it starts December 2025, and there is a monthly calendar. So if you're watching this, there is a monthly calendar with astrological sign placements and Luna's phases all through every single month. And then you go into the daily tap-in pages where all the evidence-based goodies that you need for each and every day to tap in to for your highest good, really, to bring calm to your nervous system. We have everything from gratitude journaling to recording your emotions and mood, the lunar phases, your menstrual cycle. If you do not have a menstrual cycle, you can just track Luna's phases. I have people who track sober days. I have people who just like to track days. It doesn't matter. Dream recording those subconscious messages that are being sent our way as we astral travel during our sleep time. And then, of course, your daily priorities and self-care. So this is from my heart chakra to yours. And every year I keep making it because people ask me, Allie, are you making one for next year? So this is year 3. And I hope for those of you who have ordered, thank you so much that you enjoy. And those of you listening, if you do want to order, you can order via Amazon, and you can also direct message me or email me, and I would be happy to send you one. I can also send come January, because of course my author copies are delayed. I would be happy to send as soon as they arrive. They're set to arrive by January 2nd, so that doesn't really help me for the holiday season. But you can most certainly send me a direct message, and I would be happy to send you one with a personalized channeled message with my little stamper and bless it and send it your way. So, okay, so that's that. I also have, don't forget, my fire ciders and teas. I also have a new pain relief oil available. It's not on my website as of yet, but this is Jamaican black castor oil, aloe vera, and DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide, which is a medical grade anti-inflammatory. Essentially, it's utilized in hospitals for bladder cystitis and as well as pain. And it has been evidence-based, shown to help people topically, which means applying to the skin, with arthritis pain, joint pains. So I have given it out to a few people. I've used it on myself, and it's no side effects, no nothing. And I have another oil that is in the works right now. It's mixing up right now, and it is a blend of Jamaican black castor oil, aloe, rosehip oil, frankincense, and myrrh. And this is a little holiday special. and that will be ready for order the week before Christmas. So despite my poor delayed timing, I shouldn't even say poor because we're all trying our best, right? So my timing will be just in time for your holiday. So okay, so back to the full moon in Gemini aspect. So this full moon, so first of all, I pulled 3 cards, and I just want to say I meant to pull 1 and 3 came flying out, so clearly meant to be. So the first one is new moon in Cancer, relax. So this is a water sign, right? Let it flow. We are in Sagittarius season. We're in fire right now. So letting it flow is so important, especially with those collective heavy energies, the tumultuosities. I talk about this all the time. There are always things going on in our 3D reality, such as war, politics, famine, disease, greed, ego. Staying in flow and in a relaxed state, listening to your physical body, listening to your mental body, and letting it flow and go. The second card is New Moon in Virgo. Trust all will be well. New Moon in Virgo. So Virgo is that earth sign. So just trust that all is as it should be in this now. And I say that to everyone. And I even tell myself that, like, everything is as it should be in this now. You are safe, bringing calm to my nervous system, bringing calm to others' nervous systems. And though we may not like what our circumstances are, we may not be a fan of what's going on in our life at the moment, in that now, it's so important to remind yourself that really it is what it is. You are in the situation that you're in this now. Breathe through it. Remind your body and your mind that you are safe, and just keep going moment by moment. Keep moving forward. And that is a way that I live my life each and every day. And last but not least, we have our last quarter moon in Taurus, another earth sign. Be proud of yourself. Again, I said I'm so proud of myself. I don't normally speak like that about myself, but I am proud of myself, and you should be proud of you too. And this last quarter moon is all about like winding down, and actually where we are in this now in the season, the wheel of the year, we are in the autumnal season, and this is the time to wind down, to close out those projects that you've been working on, to get ready to go within for the winter, to be more introspective. This is a time where we start like slowing down, living more mindfully, more consciously, and really just turning inward. So those are the Moonology cards of the Lunar Ceremony day. And I talked about my products. I talked about services available. I am going to be hosting a December 12th, 12/12 mini masterclass. So this is going to be, normally my master classes are 2 hours. This is going to be a mini class. I'm offering it for the price of $12.12 US dollars. So 12/12. This theme is Awaken Thy Gratitude. I really, in meditation, have been really getting downloads and messages about being grateful. I just sat in meditation prior to recording this, and quite honestly, I'll be totally blunt and honest, I had a Jesus Christ presence where he reminded me that, you know, he is within me, God is within me. However you perceive, having faith in something and trusting that you are, as so long as you feel that you are living in your truth and you are living in alignment, when you're living in alignment and you are true to who you are, that, oh, hello, Kevin.
Alignment.
Kevin.
We offer 4-wheel alignments at Central Service, Long Island's premier automotive repair facility.
I thought you don't do alignment.
We don't, but you said alignment, so I got to talk about alignment.
You can bring your car into Central Service, but then he's got to send it out for an alignment. But we can take care of that. You don't have to worry about it.
Definitely want your car in alignment. See, this is important to think about how important alignments are, both in our bodies, our spirits, and in our vehicles.
Wow, Kevin, that's so wise of you. Do you have anything to say for the full moon, the super full moon in Gemini coming up? Do you have any advice to give anybody?
Stay true to yourself.
Stay true to yourself. Yep. Well, thank you for coming through, Kevin. Kevin often just stops by. Yeah, the joy of being an entrepreneur, actually.
I was here a few minutes ago, so I'm surprised that she's not noticing that I was going to barrel right back through, because I was here just a few minutes ago. We're not going to discuss what I was out doing, but it does involve that I needed some ropes, and I was just standing on a dock.
Okay, yeah, he's doing boat stuff today. So this is the story of my life of living with Kevin and his entrepreneur hustling his little side hustles. So if you want to buy a boat, we have about 6 of them that are for sale. So 'tis the season to buy your loved ones a boat. And they all work, they all run, they're all good. This is just besides his car hustle, he sells boats as well. And here he is to give me a kiss. So okay, bye. So thank you everyone for listening in for that little commercial break for Central Service. So, oh yes, and North Belmore Marine. He's calling it the North Belmore Marine Division. So, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Okay. It's nothing like being on point. So usually I'm in my studio and I'm recording, and today I decided because it's rainy and it's cold and it's gross and I'm home alone. So I was like, I'm just going to sit at the dining room table. I actually feel, so that's another thing, being inspired. When you're in alignment, find a place where you feel inspired. And for me, it's my dining room table. It's looking out toward my front bay window. I just have like a view of my beautiful home, and I'm so grateful for it. And we're going to talk about, we've already talked about gratitude a little bit, being grateful for all you accomplish. And so that goes back to what I was saying as I was sitting in meditation. I was essentially the essence of Jesus Christ. And it's interesting that Kevin walked in as I was saying that. So this has been a tough year for me. For those of you who follow me, you know that I'm very open about my subconscious religious programming, about how I feel, about I was a daily church goer. I was a daily mass goer. I was never like super religious. I would go to mass because I felt at peace there. So I would go in the morning after I got my kids off to school, and I would go. And however, with the work that I do, it's been a struggle. However, after reading the Heal the Witch Wound, if you were in the book club, we had so much fun, and we're gonna do another one late winter, early spring. And if you were a part of the book club or you've ever read Heal the Witch Wound by Celeste Larson, something that really stood out to me, besides it being, a patriarchal of the man's society that made healers and witches, or however you identify yourself as, working in the magical holistic world, that you are made, that it really is, it's okay to be you. And the co-host that I hosted the book club with, Jennifer Whitaker, she actually said something that stood out to me more than the entire book. She said, it's okay, it's safe to cherry pick. And she went to seminary school. So it is safe to cherry pick how you live your life. Like, as long as you're living for the highest good and you're not harming anyone and your intentions are not malice toward others. And I would like to think that everything I do is in heart center. So with that being said, when coming back to Jesus Christ, I've always felt this presence, whether I go to church or I don't go to church. I heavily feel the presence of him, and I do believe in his power. I do believe in his story. Do I necessarily fully believe in verbatim the Bible and scripture? I I definitely value scripture. I have a Bible next to my bed that I have little tabs in, and I'll open it up if I need to gain insight on something. But I always trust my intuition. So in meditation, just prior to recording this, I really, really felt the presence of Jesus Christ himself in reminding me that I am in alignment, that it is safe to be me. It is safe to be doing what I'm doing. I am uniquely me. I am projecting as a human projector. I vocalize these things via podcast, via social media, via blog. I am just being me, and I with the hopes and ability to help you to look within, to find your highest self, that timeline that you resonate with. My highest timeline is totally different from yours. My highest timeline is my timeline. Yours is uniquely yours, your unique soul blueprint, just as mine is mine. So after I meditated, I felt, I'm not going to lie, like as I was saying, this year has been really hard. The collective energies have been very heavy. So today I was kind of feeling a little off. It's also very nasty out. So I meditated this morning, and then I meditated again because I just needed a little bit of clarity, and I meditated for about 20 minutes, and then I was like, you know what, I'm ready to hop on and I'm ready to record. So it's those little things, that those little moments, especially when you go within, that bring you home to who you are, and bring you that inspiration, and most importantly bring you that calm to your nervous system. So my favorite part of today for recording is honestly going to be where we segue into, and this is totally random, but there has been a bunch of you who listen and friends of mine who want to know more about the blue zones. So why am I incorporating the blue zones into lunar ceremonies? Because this is the final super full moon of the year of 2025. And although our time and dates are man made, right? It does help us to navigate life here in the 3D. So we do have to kind of honor time at some points. So, with the end of the year coming, this full moon is all about gaining clarity. Clarity for, I heard somebody describe it this week as like you're coming to a fork in the road, and you have to decide which path is for you, and like no pressure, right? Like hurry up, decide, the year's going to end, let's go, you have, what is it, 20, you have 29 days, let's go, decide. Like no, it's not like that. It is trusting in your highest timeline. Mercury is involved in this full moon aspect, so communication is key, whether you are honestly communicating with yourself about what your desires and needs and wants are and what you envision for yourself, or you're communicating with others, your family and your friends. This is the perfect opportune time during this full moon and the waning gibbous to really just let go. Let go of what you no longer need in your mind. That the negative thoughts, the negative perceptions, whatever is holding you back, the assumptions, the not being clear on who you are or where you are going. And the reason that I want to touch on the blue zones, most importantly, is because there are pillars that are involved that help to bring you clarity, that help to bring you that sense of worth, that sense of self, and fulfilling your mission, which is what I'm always talking about. Like, you are here on this earth to fulfill a mission. Unlike any other, you are uniquely you. And that's all I can say about that. So the blue zones, what are the blue zones? The blue zones are 5 hotspots around the world that have been designated as areas of where people live to be over 100. So centenarians, the highest density of centenarians live in these areas, and there are multiple pillars in how they all live their life. And a man named Dan Buettner has dedicated basically his entire adulthood to studying these areas, writing about them. There is a Netflix series on them if you're interested. I've watched it, it's really cool. I've also just kind of studied the blue zones and followed Dan Buettner for like a really long time, and I just find it so fascinating, mostly because of the way that these individuals live their life. So the 5 areas that are known as the blue zones are Sardinia, Italy; Icaria, Greece; Okinawa, Japan; Nicoya, Costa Rica; Loma Linda, California. Singapore, I don't know if it's been officially designated a new blue zone, but I know that it was being mentioned, that if at this point it has been official or not, that Singapore is also considered to be an up and coming blue zone area. Why? Why are these areas, these little hot spots? There's one even in the United States. So even though we talk about how we're all like gluttons for punishment in the Western states, that clearly there is something going on in Loma Linda, California, where these people are living to be 100 years old, and it's fascinating. So the first pillar is purposeful movement, an easy movement, not like pushing yourself to go to the gym or CrossFit or running 5 miles a day. This is about you get up every day. The other pillar is having a sense of purpose in life. You are rising typically early. You're rising and you already have a sense of purpose. You're not rising and like, what am I going to do today? How's my day going to go? And like wandering around. You have a purpose. I remember in the Netflix documentary, there was a centenarian. He was, I believe, 100 years old at least. And he would get up every morning before the sun, and he was out on his farm. And that is the movement we're talking about. We're talking about the movement of what you're doing throughout the day, the household chores, the farm chores, the even just taking a walk. Like, you don't have to run 5 miles. Being active. I'm a huge, proponent of telling you to dance, and dancing is another thing that a lot of them do. They all dance. So it's just so uplifting to know that you don't have to have this rigid gym schedule and workout. That works for some people, and that's amazing. But if you are somebody who, like me, I have a home gym and I do my physical therapy exercises and I do what I have to do, a few times a week, and I'm always every single day I am doing some sort of movement medicine, whether it's somatics, whether it incorporates dance or yoga or Pilates, or I'm simply just bringing my dog for a walk. But a lot of times I am literally just dancing around in my kitchen and living room. And those are ways that you can easily tap into movement medicine. And purpose, like I said, having a purpose for rising, having that gratitude for a new day. That's something that I always write in my journal. I have the slot in the daily tap in page where you can write what you're grateful for, 5 things that you're grateful for. It can be 5 words. You can write out sentences, whatever you want. And my first thing that I always write every single day is a new day. I am always grateful for a new day, to start anew, and every moment you can start anew. But, each grand rising is an opportunity to do your best. And that's all you can do. And if you're doing your best, then that's a damn fine job that you are doing. So the next pillar is they eat a plant-based diet, and they eat until they are 80% full. I laugh at this because even my son will say to me, "Mommy, I'm 80% full," just to like say it, like when he's done eating. So I suffered from gastroparesis for years. I almost had a gastric pacemaker placed. I had been in talks of having tube feeding, and it was a nightmare. And one of the things that I remember was I used to get full so quickly. But when you suffer with something that like half the time you have no appetite, when you finally have an appetite, you want to eat and you want to enjoy it. So I would always eat way past 80% full, and then I would get physically ill a lot of times. And for people who are not suffering with GI issues as gastroparesis, which if you don't know what gastroparesis is, it's paralysis of the stomach muscles, and your food cannot break down as quickly. So it kind of just sits. And when you have an issue like that, it's hard for the mind to catch up with the body. So it was always like a battle. And then once I started really healing it and learned about the blue zones and learned about, gut health and things like that, the 80% rule became a staple in my family, and my entire family knows about the 80% rule. And we kind of try to live by it, and it works because it doesn't make you feel like you're disgustingly full. It's even on Thanksgiving, I like ate to that 80% and I was like, okay, I'm good. I just do not enjoy the feeling of feeling sick anymore. So if you are looking for a way to I guess, rationalize your overeating, consider the 80% rule and have fun with it. Be like, okay, I'm 80% full, and that's it. Like, you don't have to stress about it. You don't have to worry about it. Just know when you are about 80% full, and that's your cue to perhaps, stop eating at that point. The next pillar is managing stress. So, this is pretty much what my work is all about, helping you to heal, ascend, and flow, and heal your nervous system, most importantly, bringing you back down into that homeostasis, bringing you into rest and recovery, rest and digest, no longer living in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So, the idea of managing stress is daunting to a lot of people. And a lot of people, when I recommend meditation, oh, I can't meditate. And this is not uncommon. So when I meet people who can't meditate, it's usually like my greatest challenge. And I enjoy so much being able to show people different ways that they can meditate. Meditation does not necessarily mean that you have to just be sitting still in silence or reciting mantras. So meditation can look like a lot of things. It can look like being out in nature. It can look like hugging a tree or simply putting your hands on a tree. It can be bare feet in the dirt. It can be dancing if you really, focus and close your eyes. Meditation is about getting out of the head, the mind, and into the heart. So really just tapping into that anahata chakra, that heart chakra, that energy center that is all about loving thyself and humanity. And even if you have to take 10 breaks a day to just take deep breaths, because breath work also, that is another key stress reducer that I have incorporated in my life over the latter probably 5 or 6 years, and doing it more and more and making it a part. It's been a part of my daily routine probably since September at this point. So I notice a huge difference when I'm doing breath work and I'm able to rid of that excess negative energy or that stagnant energy. And then you can literally feel the expansion, the expanded room in your body to make way for just the love and light and the downloads and the ideas and the creative ideas and just the love and the joy. And that is exactly what I'm talking about when I say, like, just before recording, even though I had meditated and done my ritual this morning, I noted that today was a heavy energy day. I was running around doing errands. It's nasty out. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on personally and collectively, and the full moon is coming, and I just needed a few minutes. I knew I wanted to record today, but I knew that if I sat down and I did some breath work and I cleared out that excessive energy that I did not need within me, that it would only make room for more love and light and inspiration. And I kid you not, I sat down, I meditated, cleared it out. The light language came through, the downloads came through, the light codes, whatever you want to refer them as. And here I am being able to just channel this episode. And a lot of people, I have so many people who ask me, how do I podcast? How do I prepare for a podcast? How can I sit down and know what to say? My greatest advice to you is meditate and channel it. Just trust. And I always do every single day, multiple times a day. I work with my Vishuddha chakra, your throat chakra, and I do the Hum mantra. So simply just interlacing your hands, facing them toward your throat, and hum. So that's a quick little mantra and mudra exercise that you can do to manage your stress, especially for this full moon when communication is being affected. So if you feel like you have something to say, or you are feeling stifled in your honesty and truth and your inability to stand up for yourself, or whatever it may be, take a moment, breathe, focus on that breath, bring the breath all the way into the belly space and out through the chest and the mouth, and put those hands up against your throat and hum. And that will help to awaken that energy center and release any stagnant energy. You can also eat foods as melons and cucumbers and celery. They help to lubricate this energy center so that you can speak your truth and you can speak how you feel in that now. The next pillar, so managing stress, I could probably have an entire episode about that. I have had episodes, I'm sure, that we've talked about stress management and just different ways to tap in and heal. So if you ever have any questions on, Allie, what can I do? How I'm going through this, what are some things that I can do right now to help myself? And honestly, that's a bulk of my client appointments, my hotspot healing sessions, which I do 90-minute sessions where we deep dive into quantum, metaphysical, and ancient healing techniques and somatic healing techniques. And a lot of times people are making their appointments because they are feeling so stressed or quote unquote stuck. And you're not stuck. You're just, I'd like to say you just need to find your center and return to center and get back into alignment so that you can flow. And that's what we work on. We work on identifying what are the key stressors, how can you address them, what can you do, what rituals or practices can you incorporate, slow daily incremental changes into your daily routine, how can you lessen that stress for your nervous system. It also comes down to nutrition. So nutrition is huge. And going back to the 80% full and the plant-based diet, when you reset your gut, so 80 to 90% of our serotonin is formed in our gut. So I even tell my teenagers, you are what you eat. And if you are feeling sluggish, if you are craving sugar, if you are, up late at night, it's said that you may have parasites. So doing a parasite cleanse might be ideal. Do not, this is not medical advice. Please always contact your provider prior to starting any kind of new regimen. But there's a lot to be said about gut health and your mental well-being. So any questions on that, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I have changed my entire life when it comes to eating. People who go out to eat with me know that I do not eat like 99% of the population. I am pretty much a plant-based. I have been eating dairy lately, which has not been feeling amazing. So I need to reevaluate that, right? I always feel best when I eat strictly plant-based and vegan. And it is when I feel most energized. It's when I wake in the morning and I'm just ready to go. And then it's kind of it carries me through the whole day. I don't drink caffeine anymore. I haven't drank caffeine for 2 years. And it's a way of life. It's a lifestyle to change everything about the way that you eat. But I'm telling you that I am living proof that it can be done. And you don't have to be perfect. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I've been having dairy. And I'm being called to share that switching from refined sugar to unrefined sugar, if you still are going to use sugar, because unrefined sugar is not addictive. It's not the addictive sugar. Refined sugar is what is addictive, really. So I have unrefined sugar in my house, and my kids know if you want cookies, if you want brownies, if you want cake, if you want to make hot cocoa, you got to use the stuff in the house. I use einkorn flour. And it's just these little things that you can change within your home when you do cook. What can you control? If you're going out to eat, you can't really control what they're using in the kitchen. So just be mindful about what you order. But if you're cooking at home, have the proper ingredients. Have the ingredients that you know are going to help you to heal. Everything you put in your body is either helping you to heal or it's hindering that growth. So pay attention to your body. Your body knows the score. There is a book called that. I forgot who wrote it, but it's literally called The Body Keeps the Score. Okay, so moving on, the next pillar is family first. So while a lot of people will say, well, I don't talk to my family, or I don't talk to my mom, or I don't talk to my dad, or I don't talk to my siblings, and that is not uncommon either. So who are your closest people? Who do you consider family? It doesn't have to be blood. That connection, that community, and then the next pillar is also that belonging to faith. So going back to my experience with Jesus Christ and feeling his presence around me and within me, that's my energy, and that's how I relate. That's my faith. And however you have faith, whatever keeps you going and in high hopes in being faithful, God, source, universe, you can be more scientific. I posted something yesterday about how, Catholics call it prayer and witches call it spells and scientists call it quantum physics. Like, however you perceive it, whatever your faith is, whomever your higher power is, your creator is, that is what you should rely on for the highest good. So long as you are, having faith in something for the highest good of humanity and yourself is really, really key in keeping you going, keeping you strong, keeping you flowing, honestly. And that's a whole nother episode that we could talk about. And the last but not least, and not many people want to hear this, especially around the holidays, is the moderation of alcohol. While a lot of these locations do, especially Greece and Italy, they are indulging in alcohol, as such as wine, they're not drinking a bottle in one sitting like I used to do. 1 or 2 bottles, please. That was my thing. Chardonnay, ice cold Chardonnay. And when I ran out of Chardonnay, I'd hit the tequila bottle. So I cannot moderate. I had to shit or get off the pot. Some people can just not moderate. If you are someone who can just not moderate, note that it is not doing you any favors for your body, mind, spirit, or soul. It is only hindering your growth, and it only adds fuel to the anxiety fire. So if you are somebody who is questioning your drinking, one, please know that you are not alone. This does not come in judgment. This comes in compassion and literal empathy, because I have been there. January 1st will be 5 years that I have not drank alcohol. And like I said, I was somebody who could easily indulge in 1 to 2 bottles 5 to 6 times a week. So please know that you are not alone. And the idea of drinking small amounts of alcohol, especially wine, is that, it has antioxidants and it can be calming. It's okay. And your ancestors did it and this and that. But there's more studies and evidence coming out about the negatives of alcohol. And also, what's interesting is the more studies that do come out, that the consumption is decreasing. So hopefully people are getting the message. But most importantly, I think that people are caring. They're caring about what they're putting in their bodies, and which is the most important. And when you struggle with addiction like I do and did, and it's not easy to admit these truths, but when you do and you tackle them and you supersede them and you transform your whole life, there is nothing more freeing than being able to say, like, here I am. I am what I am. And here you are without the external substances, being able to heal, ascend, and flow through life without all of those unnecessary additives. So again, no judgment here. Another thing, I feel like I could have an episode on every single one of these pillars. So maybe we'll just have to do that in the future. So those are the pillars: the movement, having a life purpose, plant-based diet, that 80% fullness rule, managing stress, family first, having faith, and moderating alcohol. And utilizing these pillars may just help you live to be 100 years old plus. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode and got something out of it and enjoyed Kevin's little pop-in. So Thank you, as always, for listening. Please keep a lookout on social media for announcements about the 12/12 mini masterclass enrollment. And please do subscribe and to this podcast. And also, please, if you wanted to leave a review, that would be so amazing. It just helps me to grow. And please follow, subscribe to my blog and socials. And I'm just here to spread the love and to help you to heal, ascend, and flow. So thank you for listening, and peace out, and God bless.